Welcome everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Aramopoulos, and these are my co-hosts.
I'm Talia.
And I'm Tech Luciano. You may have heard me on radio, you may have never heard of me at all, but that's okay.
Cause y'all gon' learn today. Your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle, under pressure never break a fold. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Hustle Podcast. I believe it's episode 80, episode 81. I don't remember anymore because it's been like 2 months since I've been in the studio.
Oh, dang.
It's been a long time, Amer. Thank you for being here. And you're a very special guest that's been here after 2 months. So
Wow,
feel very
thank you
happy.
for having me. This is exciting. You guys have a fantastic, people can't see the whole rest of this building, but this is amazing. You should shoot porn and other podcasts here.
Porn has been shot here, yeah, for sure. There's a lot of porn that's been shot here.
Ooh, that's why the chairs are so sticky. That makes so much sense. Okay.
It's been, I think, about 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks since I had a guest on the show.
Okay.
So I'm getting a little rusty at this.
Okay.
And just the fact that you're the first one that's here, we got a comedian. It's I think our first comedian, maybe our second comedian on the show.
No, fuck him.
So I
Guy
feel
cursing
very
again?
honored. I feel very honored right now that we have this hilarious individual in the building, Amer Rez. Please tell the people a little bit about yourself, the type of humor you spew onto the people.
Oof.
I want to hear all about it.
It's wrong. It's all wrong. That's all I say. Everything that comes out of my mouth seems wrong. Well, you've seen me perform.
I've seen you perform. Look, I was a regular at Melrose
Yeah.
Restaurant. It's near my house. So every time I would go on a Wednesday, you got good comedy, you got some food there.
Yeah.
And I'll see you. Really hilarious.
Thank
you know
you,
what I
man.
mean?
Thank
so your set sort of became embedded in my head that I had to stop going because I knew all the jokes.
I'm writing new jokes. I'm letting everyone know I'm writing new jokes. I've been traveling. I've been writing. It's when you're hosting, you always have your go-to jokes. So you throw them out with like a slingshot, like you hit the crowd with it. But yeah, how would I define myself? That's a great question, man. So my name is Amer Rez. Everybody, hi. Thank you for having me again. I'm a comedian. I make jokes about just everyday life, dating, my parents, being an immigrant, being really pale, getting fat, being old. What else? Not being cool like you guys. I'm not as cool. You guys seem cool. I'm looking at everyone like the three guys here. You guys are really cool. You have tattoos and gold and you're in shape. Yeah, I don't have any of that.
I'm trying to get in
cool.
shape, you know what I mean?
It's nice.
Yeah.
I'm just pale and hairy. Not on here, but the rest of my body.
Comedy. When did you decide you want to make people laugh? Like, was it at a young age that you're like, oh, I think I have a drama class, you had a knack for it or something?
Well, when you're funny, you're just funny. I think you always wonder where does comedy come from? Not comedy, but the need to make people laugh. You know, I was young. I was born in Beirut in Lebanon. I thought about it. I went to like a very nice school. My mom really put me in a nice school, but everyone was rich there and I was poor. So in order to not feel poor, I just became like a funny guy. So I would make like friends laugh. I would make people laugh at too. And don't get to know me and get to know the jokes. And then you learn it's a great tool to get to know girls. Girls love to laugh. And then it just becomes part of you, just like making people laugh. It's a good feeling. That was before I even considered doing comedy. And then, you have a life. I got a job. I had a normal job. I was an engineer. I was working, in an aerospace. Life was great. And then one day my friend's like, hey, you should try an open mic. You're very funny. So I tried an open mic. And once you get infected, man, it's so hard not to want to do it. So I quit everything. It was hard. It's really hard. And then I focused completely on the art form.
So you said you used to be an engineer.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
It was maybe 8-9 years ago.
Okay, so it's relatively new. You're on the circuit and everything.
Well, 9 years. I'm still like one of the not the oldest.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. 9 years it's a long time,
yeah.
But it's also relatively fresh. When I saw you, I would assume you were doing it for 20, 30 years.
Oh wow, thank
20,
you.
At least 20,
How
30.
the
Yeah,
fuck
30 is like a
Wait,
little
that
too
old?
much.
Jesus Christ, I need some
20,
sun.
at least 20. You know what
Thank
I mean?
you, thank you.
Because it's so natural for you. When I see you, the way you're on stage, the way you command the mic and the audience, it's like you give it your all.
Thank you, man. Yeah, you have to. There's advice that I collect that I was given in my life. One of them is have fun. Second of all is go all in. Like you have your chips here. I never played poker, but I'm assuming is this, you do this, and you go Sorry, I ruined the table.
No, you're good.
But basically, this is go all in. This is the only way to do comedy. You cannot. So I'm gonna put these back. I feel bad. I moved the props of the table. So yeah, you're supposed to go all in. This is the advice I was given. But you have to. Once you go all in, you become more free. You become more natural. I think it's important. Yeah, it's very fun. Once you're like fully invested in something, you get better so much faster.
You said you grew up in Beirut, Lebanon.
Yeah, I grew up
Are
in
you
Beirut.
Lebanese or? Okay.
You seem like you're like,
No, 'cause
what is immigration?
I can't remember, but I could have sworn that in one of your comedy bits you said something about Ukrainian. Or...
Yes. Since I don't look Arabic, I always say I look like a Ukrainian DJ. That's my website, by the way, ukrainiandj.com. If anyone wants to follow me, go to ukrainiandj.com.
Okay, so what was early life? Do you remember anything back in
Yeah, I
Lebanon?
left when I was 11. It
Okay.
was, well, here's the thing. When you're young, you don't, I lived in war, right? There was civil war, civil unrest. You don't remember much of it. You remember, the bombs sometimes and going into a shelter. But as a child, you remember, you view the world as from the eyes of a child, right? So I remember, I don't know, having long hair because my mom couldn't afford to go to the barber to cut my hair. I remember shitting my pants when I was very young at school. It's like the troubles of a child, they're still troubles. Even if the world is collapsing, the troubles of a child, they're still the troubles of a child. He doesn't care about the world. He only cares about what's 3 meters around him.
And plus, it's your environment that you grew up in.
Yeah.
You don't know anything else.
You don't know exactly.
It's normal to you, right? So
Yeah. These were my PTSD. It has nothing to do with the war, even though it was there and it affected my life. It's just, I like this girl. I don't know how to like. How do you tell a girl that you like her? Yeah, it's like these troubles. They're very cute.
So you said you came 11 years old.
11 years old, 10, 11, yeah.
What was the decision behind that? Your parents?
Well, the war.
Oh, the war,
and I was like,
obviously.
there's no future for us in Lebanon, right? So my dad was here before. He came, set everything up. And then my mom, my brother, my sister, and we followed suit after a couple of years.
Okay, and now let's say a young 11-year-old Amer just shows up to Montreal. Was there any bullying situations, any getting teased situations?
Yeah. There was some bullying. I was fat. I get it. I would have bullied my own self, honestly. I had long hair. I was fat. It was, ugh. Ever looked at yourself when you were young? Like, like the bad years? Not the good years, like the bad years.
Okay, forget young, but I just got a flashback. When Facebook gives you like a 10-year flashback and you see like that cringe shit that you wrote 10 years ago, you're like, oh my God, like I wrote that 10 years ago.
So that was your
what you
whole
mean.
personality. Oh my God. Yeah, but it's all so much, you arrive, it's a new country, new friends, no friends, I have my cousins, my cousin lived here, and then they were more acclimated to Canada than me. I always felt like an outsider, even in the Middle East, as an Arab. In Lebanon, I didn't fit in. I get here, I still don't fit in. So it becomes part of you. High school, the first year was a bit tough. I went to a very rough high school. Like primary school, it was okay, I would say. You're still young. I remember playing football and getting tackled. I'm like, all right, I'm never playing football again. Those small memories. But high school, I remember the first year was tough. I went to, I think it's called now La Voix, but back then it was called Van Horn. It was rough. I got in so many fights. Ooh.
I don't know, what was the reason behind those fights? Was it because you had a smart mouth? Or
Actually, I think I was just annoying. I get it. I was annoying and I never backed down. So I was just an annoying fat kid who didn't back down. If I just took it, they would have maybe let me go. But I was just like, hey, man. So I was always...
You were sowing the seeds for comedy.
I guess, I hope so. I hope it was useful for something.
It's like you were testing out the waters when you bomb on stage.
Yeah.
And you saw the reaction to it.
Yeah, you learn. Except, in real life, you get punched. On stage, you're like, it's okay. They're not going to laugh and they're going to boo or they're going to go like, I didn't like that joke. And yeah, you get used to it. You live.
Well, now in the Chris Rock, Will Smith
I've
era.
been taking boxing classes. Bring it, motherfuckers. Bring it. I'll chew your dick off. Well, that's not a gay. That's not what I meant. But you know what I mean. Yeah.
Pause, rewind. Okay, so you got here 11 years old. You went primary school, high school. When did engineer come into the picture? You're like, oh, Amer the engineer is going to...
Well, so CJEP, you're looking what you want to do in life. I always liked math and cars. So I just decided, let's go, let's become an engineer. My good friend, your first long time. I don't know if you have friends that you've been friends with for a long time. You seem like the type of guy like, yeah, I've known this guy for 45 years.
I've known this guy for a long motherfucking time.
He knows. Okay. Paul? Is it Paul?
Paul.
Yeah. Cool. I like this interracial friendship. Cool. You guys film porn together? All right. I'm going to stop. Sorry. Okay. So, yeah. His name is Guillaume. I met him at CJEP. We've been friends for like 20 years now. And he wanted to go in engineering. I'm like, oh, I like cars. I like math. Let's go in engineering. Plus, as an immigrant, it's always a safe bet, you know. You go to engineering, the parents are happy, everything's fine. You're like, okay. So, yeah, that's basically just my love for cars and math. I did my bachelor. And, yeah, it was fun. It was nice. Nothing, wasn't crazy.
Well, apparently you don't love money because you're like, let me become a comedian.
I was looking like, what is this? This is the root of all evil. I'm going to take a couple before I go. But that being said, yeah, no, but you don't think about money when you started. When you think of engineers, they're not money oriented. It's like one of the few jobs where we're not pussy oriented or money oriented. We just like solving problems. We make horrible boyfriends because when a girl like tells us like, this is happening, you're like a man, you're a man, right? Your girl complains to you, you like, here's the solution, but you're supposed to hold this in.
Yeah,
You're supposed to let her talk her feelings. You're like, yeah, we can't do that. As an engineer, you're like, no, listen, do this, do this, do this. So we're not great boyfriends, but, you know, we make good money. So women, they shut up and they date us. But, yeah, so it was just fun. And plus, you know, something I realized once I became a comedian is that once an engineer, always an engineer. So engineering doesn't teach you only about math and science. Yes, it does, of course, but it also teaches you how you think, how to break down a problem, solve it step by step, and arrive to the final solution, you know. So, yeah, I don't regret my path. It's
well, you have the knowledge, right? You gained all that.
Yeah, I gained the way of thinking.
You can always fall back on that if you want to, which definitely I don't think okay, you like it, but it's not something that you love doing.
I loved it back then.
I think comedy now is the new love of your life.
Yes, 100%. It's the only thing that exists in my life. Everything else revolves around comedy. You know, it's like if this is comedy, everything else around it is just, how can I make this better? That's the only thing that exists. Just put the fake diamond back. Here we go. So, yeah, I hope it's fake. Is it fake?
I don't think it's real.
I don't know, man. Based on this studio, this could be real. I don't know. Yeah, but I honestly don't regret it. I did my bachelor, and then I worked for a couple of years. Then I did my master's in aerospace, and then I worked in satellites. That was crazy. I have like satellites in space.
Holy shit.
With yeah, dude. I was like, it was going great. I had a union engineering job. I knew how to use it to get laid. I had the engineering pinky ring. It was fantastic, 6-figure salary. But the thing is, like every job gets monotonous at a certain point, especially if you want to do something else. So I wasn't able to focus at work. I was like at work, like listening to podcasts about how to write a joke or like the science behind laughter. I became obsessed, like unnaturally obsessed. And I just, took some magic mushrooms, helped me decide, and I made the leap.
So it wasn't that you were getting like high up in the engineer world, and then you're about to get inducted into the Illuminati, the Freemasons. So you had a nervous breakdown, and you're like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to become a comedian instead.
It is a bit Illuminati, the whole engineering, how to become an engineer, like the ceremony to get the ring. It is a bit culty. I'm not going to lie. It is. You have to hold the chain, and I'm not even supposed to talk about it. Oops. But it is very Illuminati, and like another engineer has to put the ring on your finger. It's a bit weird.
So it's like you're getting married into the engineering world.
It is. You're basically, that's your first, and it's normal because you're creating things. The life of people could be affected, but it became. I always say as a joke, it's a bit arrogant to say, but like the next thing would have been to me to go to space, to become like an astronaut, and I didn't want to get in shape, so I'm just gonna. You never know, You always. If you have something you want to try it. Maybe that's you'll end up doing what you'll end up doing for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Okay, so then you said it was one day a friend came up to you.
Yeah.
Said you should try an open mic.
Jenya, I love you. He's probably listening.
Let's hear that story. Let's see how that became. Like, what was that first open mic like? Did you have the butterflies? Were you all nervous?
Yeah, it was very scary. It was my first time on stage. I did like some improv, but improv, you're with other people. The crowd is so supportive usually, so it's not.
You're not getting the real feedback that you want.
Exactly. Plus, you're creating on the spot, which is fun, and also it's not the same as thinking of jokes and presenting them. So it's a completely. No, the first time I went on stage was great. Honestly, I got laughs. People told me I'm funny, and then it was like shitty for a couple of years. But yeah, the first time I once, you have all that ego of like, I'm the next Eddie Murphy. Everything's gonna be fun. So you go on stage and you're nervous. Plus your friends are there; they're very supportive. But yeah, I think I remember the first time. I still use a couple of jokes he used to use back then. Yeah, it was very fun. I think I used to have a video. I think I lost it, but it was nice. It was time passes so quickly you don't realize. You're not really paying attention to the right things. You're just trying to talk.
Yeah.
When you're on stage, you're like, okay, I should do this. There's like two parts of your brain when you perform now. You're like, okay, this is the joke I'm doing. You're listening to the laughter, so you can work on your tempo, so you can say the next line at the right line. And you're okay, this joke will go well with this joke. So you have like the performance brain, and then you have the machinist behind going,
The engineer brain.
Exactly, the engineering brain in the back going, drop the bomb. Just twisting levers and pulling pulleys and shit, and just making sure the next, because sometimes I'm on stage for like 30 minutes, so you gotta make sure the right thing comes out at the right time. I'm like, oh, this would be a good connection. Sometimes you think of a new line while you're on the stop. This is the best. I don't know if you do drugs, but there's nothing better than being creative. That laugh means you do a lot of drugs. Okay.
So it's like when I think I saw this movie. I forgot what it was. It was a TV show or something. And the guy's like, oh, we got to write a script. So how long, when is it due by? 48 hours. So they like lock themselves in a room. They do a bunch of cocaine and they write the worst fucking script ever.
Yeah. That's usually, I never did cocaine, but if I may ask, do you do cocaine?
Well, maybe I've done it once in a while, the blue moon here and there, but...
I'm very sensitive to annoyances, like people who are annoying. People who do coke are very annoying.
No, I
don't
totally
like talking
agree.
to you.
I totally
like, I don't care. I think it's not... I like people who smoke weed. They're more relaxed.
Yeah, I smoke a lot of weed.
Me too.
That's why I'm relaxed today.
Oh, you're high now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I would have taken a hit.
No, it's my 24/7.
Really? Wow.
That's how I function daily.
Do you miss being sober?
I don't even know what sober is anymore.
Bro, you should try it.
You know what I mean?
That should be your new drug.
Yeah, I
try
should
it for a couple of days.
I think no. The only time you really try it is when you go on vacation and you don't have full access to weed.
Yeah.
And you maybe you'll sneak a vape pen with you, but it's not the same.
No,
it's not the same.
Still, a vape pen can be dangerous. I've gotten one. Like I did it not a corporate, like at someone's house. They
like I feel if I do decide to go sober. You remember that scene in Half Baked when Dave Chappelle he's not smoking weed and he's like fucking everything up at work. He's like breaking this, breaking that, and he's like all nerves.
But don't you find that it's I like to get high as well. I smoke weed, I take mushrooms, but I find that when I don't smoke for like a week, then I smoke weed again, and you're like, this is what I like. Oh, the dragon is back. Like this is. But if you're high all the time, you need more and more and more, and then you have to get weed, then you're like, the SQDC is closed, and I have to call my guy, and then it's too much work.
No, I agree with you. Like what you said, like if you come back after a week from vacation, you haven't smoked, and you smoke that one joint, you feel like it's that first time you smoked weed. Remember that first feeling?
It's the face is numb.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I agree with you.
Dude, the first time I smoked weed, I was 30.
30 years old.
30 years old. The first, like when I started comedy, I'm like, okay, let's expand our mind, Let's take some mushrooms. I did some mushrooms. And then I smoked. I remember the first joint, it was Jean-Guy, this strain. And I remember I was with my friends, and I took a hit. And I remember my face being numb. I'm like, I was just touching my face. I'm like, oh my God, I can't feel my cheeks. Whoa.
So comedy ruined your life, man.
Oh.
You got into comedy, you started doing mushrooms, weed.
Mushrooms, drugs, no more money. But I get to be happy. It's a good feeling.
So the comedic influences that you have, who are your top guys that you listen to and watch?
There's one above all is Louis C.K. Louis C.K. in my mind, he changed my life, I would say. Sometimes I catch myself talking like him. I'm like, oh, really want to see my cock? No.
Louis C.K. Yeah, that was an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, it is. But I don't know the exact details. I still think he's a comedic genius. But his albums, I listen to them like I listen to music. Like the symphony of just the words and then the laughter. There's albums I could recite the words as he speaks them. I don't know if
I'm not a big CK guy.
No.
Like I've seen a few of his bits.
Yeah.
And I think when he had a TV show for a bit that got canceled when he did the whole
Louis
jerking off on the.
He didn't jerk off on anybody. He asked permission to whip out his penis and that offended certain people. That's what
He
I
asked
heard.
permission, though.
Yes,
He did ask
that's-
permission. So that's
exactly.
like,
That's the most polite thing you could do.
yeah,
I'm just
he
saying.
did
Have you
ask
ever
permission.
asked permission before whipping out your cock?
No, I haven't.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's been a main influence in your comedic.
Yeah, Louis C.K. The first comic I saw, and I didn't know, like, I discovered stand up. You're like, oh wait, that's a job. Not even that job, like that's an art form. It was Eddie Murphy, Delirious and Raw. You're like, oh damn, like that's
That was
like what? And it
iconic.
was, just the red suit to this my, like I can close my eyes. I can remember seeing him being in my room, watching Comedy Central and seeing just Eddie Murphy when he comes out in his blue suit. And the crowd is just rah, and then even in his eyes go, and then he comes back to normal. Like I remember his eyes just like he goes, oh, and then he goes back to normal. Like I remember that.
What was one of the jokes is like, I was in San Francisco. I knew I was in San Francisco when I got pulled over by the police. It was just 3 fags on a car going, pull over. Woo."
There's so many jokes.
And all those, like those jokes back then, like that, the word that I just said.
Yeah,
Right now, like everybody's getting canceled
Yeah, I
for that
know
type
it.
of material. And if you look at all these iconic
yeah,
sets from back then, from like Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and George Carlin, right now, if these guys came out today or 5 years ago, they would be canceled.
yeah. They would be canceled. Also, I don't think they would. Here's the problem with
Cancel culture.
not cancel culture with comedy. It's not a problem, but it's comedy doesn't age like music. Music you can listen to. I don't know what type of music you listen to.
I
I'm
listen to
assuming-
everything.
Let's say hip hop. You like an old hip hop album. You can listen to an old hip hop album. You're like, man, that shit still bangs. I love the music. I love the rhythm. Everything's good. You listen to an old comedy album, and it doesn't hit you as you don't laugh as loud as if you would listen to modern music. For some reason, comedy doesn't age like music. That's why, like, if you would listen to it, I don't know if you would laugh out loud if you would listen to Eddie Murphy. You'd go like, oh shit, can't believe he says these words, blah blah blah. I personally don't believe in cancel culture. I think it's not. Dude, I say, you've heard me on stage. I say,
What's the worst joke, the most offensive joke you got? Drop a bomb on
oh
us.
God, all right. It would be nice if you had some black people here. It would make that joke go.
There's a black curtain behind you. Huh?
There's a black curtain behind me. Okay, listen, Kurt. I'll talk as if the curtain is. It's not. I don't say offensive words. I have offensive ideas. That's my main problem. Okay, so this is this joke I've been trying maybe 4 years to get it to work, and sometimes it does, and sometimes it just. I need black people in the crowd. Black people would get it. They know where I'm coming from. So I talk about rap. I love listening to hip hop. I love listening to rap. You know, it's the first thing I discovered, like in first type of music I discovered when I arrived here. And I say, this is kind of true, so it's artistically true, take it that way. I say I discovered racism through rap. Like I didn't know, when I came to Canada, I didn't know people were racist toward black people. Like that idea of, like, because racism exists in the Middle East, you know, but it's racism between people who look like each other, which makes sense. Like, fucking Jews, fucking Arab. It's people with big noses hating each other. It makes sense. That I don't have a problem with this. But then you get here and I remember listening to NWA, Straight Outta Compton. Yeah. And, fuck the police coming straight from the underground. And then they talk about how the cops used to just kill black people and arrest them for nothing and plant drugs. And I discovered racism listening through that album. Like, holy moly, like I didn't know racism existed. And then I compare it to modern rap, and I listen to popular rap. So I listen to Drake, and like he's talking about his feelings, and it's fucking gay. I'm like, bro, just get over her, get on Bumble. Like, there's so many girls you don't have to talk about, And I just say that it's nice to listen to NWA because you see these young men, and they took all that anger and then violence toward them. And they created art with it, They didn't become pimps or drug dealers. They became artists, and they took all that negative energy and they put it into their art form, and they created art that transcends time. You can listen to that album now and still, like I listen to it now. I don't have hair on the back of my neck, but if I did, it would rise. That's how powerful that music is, and it's a shame that I don't find that in modern music. And I say, like, goddamn, like back then they took that pain and they created art that transcends time. Just rap was so much better when Black lives didn't matter. It just you need pressure to create a diamond. That's That's a joke. Is anyone okay? I heard one laugh behind me, so that's good. Guys, feel free to censor that joke as much as you want. So that would say that's one of my, like, if there's black people in the crowd, they'll get it. If there's white people in the crowd, you'll feel the asshole just go.
Do you think that it's one of those like crusaders that just want to be like you said, it's white people, right?
Yeah,
and they're making
yeah.
a joke about black people,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they feel they have to be the one to stand up and say that's racist.
They don't stand up. Here's the thing. I've had a couple of people go, "Meh," but that joke, they just, because it's a good joke. It's a great joke.
Maybe they don't want to be the first one to laugh.
Black people, first of all, they're happier than white people in general, in my experience. So they'll laugh at a good joke. They'll understand. First of all, they understand I'm not white. I don't just open with that joke. Let me be clear. I'm an Arab. My name is Amer. Hey, I love black people. Hey, whatever, cool. And then I build up to that joke. But I'm not saying white people should laugh at that joke really hard. I'm just saying they will talk about that joke when they're home alone with their friends. Like, oh my God, listen to that joke. But in the moment, they'll be like, ooh. And I get it. They need the permission of black people to laugh at that joke. It's fully understandable. That's why I don't do that joke often. And it's plus, I don't know what to do with it. It's such a powerful joke. I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I should just give it to a black guy.
It's ahead of its time.
You
You gotta wait a few more years. You gotta let it age.
I also have a couple of rape jokes, but we'll.
You need the Black Lives Matter organization to come completely under the spotlight with all the money they've been siphoning and all that stuff, and then people are gonna be like, you know what?
But then the joke won't be as good. You know, it's the fact that it's like it stays on the line, and then you know.
So you like teetering on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best part.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best part of comedy is like find the line and like, oh, can I cross it? How much can I cross it? And then, oh, I crossed it too much. Ooh, okay, I didn't cross it enough. They didn't laugh.
Like I feel like the only one that can cross the lines and he doesn't give a shit. Yes, Joey Coco Diaz.
Oh, of course, but he's the king of not giving a fuck.
Exactly. You know
There's
what I mean?
no, but you have to be Joey Coco Diaz to say things that Joey Coco Diaz. This cannot say what Joey. I'm like, hey, everybody. I look too. He looks unique. There's no one that looks like him. He's a one of a kind.
Yeah, you know when you have that New York accent, you're always ending it with cocksucker.
He's got that Latino heat, and he's like, you know, sweating. I've seen him perform live. I went to LA and I went to the Comedy Store and I saw him live. And he's just sweating and spitting and just and that face, his face looks like that type of dog that has a lot of skin. I don't know what the name. It's just
like I know what you're talking about.
Just skin everywhere.
A basset hound.
Yes, he looks like a Cuban basset hound, and he's just it's crazy. But you gotta try. It's fun. You know that joke, by the way, sometimes kills. If there's black people in the crowd, kills. If there's no black people in the crowd, they're like, ooh. I have 9/11 jokes, but I can get away with 9/11 jokes and like Israeli jokes because I'm Middle Eastern. But you know, when you start talking about black people, you're like, oh, he's not black. But as I said, black people have never been offended by that joke. White people have been like, ooh.
But I also think it's like a time. The time has passed. So 9/11, it's just been 20-something years.
Yeah.
So you can laugh about it at this point. You know, you can throw some jokes.
I have
out
two
there.
9/11 jokes.
So you got
one,
that.
Yeah, one for each tower, and that's I'm never doing another. We're done. Once I get them on an album, we're done. We're completed. Yeah.
You mentioned that there's been a few times that you had somebody like go off in the crowd, like
not at me, but like what they do with me. Since I've seen them go off, like scream at the performer. I don't look as friendly. You know me, because you know I'm friendly. But with the shaved head and I'm saying really dark, horrible things, I don't look like you can attack me on stage. I'm tall, you know, I'm 6 feet tall, I'm like 200 pounds. I'm not tiny. I've seen tiny comics like, hi, you know, they're trying to be cute and trying to be a little edgy. And then you'll have like someone like, that's racist, that's misogynistic, and like they'll freeze. I don't freeze. I'll be like, oh, let's spar, let's have fun. Someone's gonna like, you cannot win. Like, let's do it. And then I shut them off right away. Once you show that you're not, the bullying in high school helped me not shut up. Like, all right, maybe physically I can beat people, but mentally, like, we'll spar till you're down. Like, it's fun.
if you can give like other aspiring comedians some advice, what would you give? What would you tell them, like, to like continue pursuing the career, to not have that stage fright, and
All that is unimportant if you do two things: write every day, perform every day. That's that's not my even. I've heard that advice, but write every day, perform every day, and whatever you're supposed to be will happen. Just write every day, perform every day. And I think that pretty much every art form. Write every day, perform every day. You know, you're being creative, you're thinking. It helps you think. That muscle, it's a muscle, right? It's like abs and biceps. Your brain is a muscle. So if you write every day, you'll get better at writing jokes. You'll be more interesting. You'll dig deeper and deeper and deeper. You'll be more interesting, more funny. And if you perform every day, you'll be more comfortable being on stage, saying horrible things. You won't be as scared of the repercussions. You understand these are jokes. You'll become a better performer. So yeah, write every day, perform every day.
With music, and let's say with music, you write every day, you perform, you rehearse at home. But with comedy, you have to get that reaction. How do you know that the joke is a solid joke? You don't
Until you go on stage.
Do you have like that one friend that comes over every time you have like that new material, and he's like, yeah, it's good, bro.
I do have a friend, Eugene. Again, he lives in New York now, but I'll text him a joke just to get his reaction. But I found over the course of my life is that if I'm sending him a joke, it's because I don't believe in the joke. If I believe in the joke, I'll have the balls to go perform it on stage. I'm being I'm being a chicken. I'm being a pussy by testing it on my friends first. I should just right away just go on stage. What's the worst that could happen? Nothing could happen. The first time I got on stage, I always think about that. The first time I got on stage with a fresh 5 minutes that I've never performed, If I had the balls to do that then, I don't have the balls to go try a new joke about my dick. Get out of here. Just go on stage and do it. Stop being a pussy. Yeah.
We have I don't know if it's like a now thing or it's always been that way in comedy, but there's a lot of self-deprecation going on. I noticed in your set too, you poke fun at the hair, you poke fun at you said the weight, and is it something that like when you poke fun at your insecurities, it just like resonates well with, because there's a lot of people in the crowd too that probably have the same.
Exactly. Everyone is insecure about something, like you have a huge penis. So you're like, it's good. It happens.
When I take a piss, I got to fling it over my shoulder.
Damn, how do you pee, bro? I'm trying to understand the science here, the engineering part of it. So
Actually, no, I had that joke from somebody. It was when I take a shit, I got to fling it over my shoulder.
That makes more sense. Okay,
that's... Yeah.
Listen, if you're going to steal a joke, steal it.
I'm not a comedian over here.
Sorry, I forgot. What was the question?
About people resonating with the...
It's... Because you end up always, you're looking inside and you're looking outside. So it's a mix, you're talking about what's happening on the inside and you're having what's happening on the outside. So yeah, and plus, like Louis C.K., as I said, he's my hero. He talks a lot about just his horrible body and mocking himself. So you end up learning, plus it humanizes you. It's weird. People, it's weird. You're on stage. Have you ever been on stage? Yeah, you rap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Your voice is amplified. Everyone is looking up at you. It's weird. It's not so you're like, no, listen, maybe rap is different. You want to be a rap god. But as a comedian, no, I'm exactly like you. If not, I'm a worse version of you. So you're like, you have to be the most human ever. You have to be aware of your humanity as much as possible so that people connect with you. People are like, oh, okay, he's human. He's not, Again, music is different. Music, you're a god, you're Drake, you have your own Boeing 747 and you have hordes of women running after you. I don't have hordes of women running after you. There's like 5 guys who are really fans of comedy who like me. That's about it. There's no hordes of anything.
Well, you just mentioned now, has there ever been people have the misconception that I guess some comedians clean up with the women? Is that a thing? Do women come out and they're like, oh my God, Amer, I'm so wet right now?
Well, you don't. We're like not cucks. What's the name of this is okay. I don't know if you've ever seen that porn. I've watched a couple where you have like a couple and they get another guy to fuck their wife.
That would make you a cuck.
Who's the cuck in this equation?
The cuck would be the husband.
The husband. Okay. So a lot of husbands bring their girlfriends to comedy shows, and I respect that because okay, they understand that they're not the funniest, but okay, I'll take my wife or my girlfriend to a professional who's gonna make her come in her mind, and then I'll go fuck her.
That's right.
So I always feel like I'm the stallion, the black guy. Basically, usually it's the black guy. I'm the black guy added to the equation. But there's some girls, of course, who love comedians. Not as much as you think. But I think it's easier to get laid off stage for a comedian, unless you become famous. Like the second you're a little famous, then they want to fuck the fame. They don't want to fuck just the guy who just made them laugh, in a bar. So one-on-one, I can make like that. Yes, I can get laid with that. That's not an issue. But on stage, I'm like talking about like I'm fat and I have tits and like and just I'm broke. Like no girl is like this. I want to suck this guy's dick. Very like it happens. You perform enough, it will happen. Statistically, every couple of months, there's a girl who'll be like, I like you, and then, she'll want to fuck you, but it's not like musicians. I've seen musicians. Like, we did a show together. Remember, we did
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I did my set. It was nice. I had fun. Then I was watching those young kids, and they were dancing. And I was watching, like, the girls, like, the hordes of, like, 18-year-old girls just, like, staring at them like, yeah, I'm never going to have that. I'm never going to have, like, 5 18-year-old women just going,
There's still time. There's still time. You can become a musician. You can be like a Weird Al Yankovic. You know what I mean? Make these parody songs.
Music for me is I love music. Music has been my friend since I discovered it. I love music, but I'm happy that for me it's still magic. I have 2 guitars at home. I can't play a single one, but I love listening. Like, it's like a mini vacation. I was driving here. I was listening to like music that I love. Like it's like a vacation. You like listen to good music. I love the fact that for me it's like magic. You listen to a song, it can make you cry, it can make you horny, it can pump you up. You can like but isn't it crazy? Isn't it?
I was actually thinking about something similar the other day. I was like, when it comes now, I'm gonna throw the comedy into the mix too, because I was thinking the same thing about musicians. Like, if you could classify like a musician or a comedian, let's say we're in Harry Potter world or something, and everybody has like a skill set, right? And you have a skill set that can make somebody cry or laugh, or that's powerful stuff, man. That's powerful stuff. So you're wielding a crazy energy in your body right now.
Yeah, but that's art.
Use it wisely. Use it wisely.
I try.
Yeah.
My only goal is to make people laugh. That's the only thing. I got to learn how to become rich. That's the thing I decided. Like, I need to learn how to turn my assets and talents into a business. I'm learning slowly how to do that, But I just took the time needed to get my brown belt, not a black belt. I wouldn't say I'm a black belt in comedy, but at least I'm a brown belt now. I can trust myself for 45 minutes to make people laugh with original material. I trust myself with that. But every art makes you feel things. Man, paintings have made me cry. I'm not gay. And paintings.
Actually, I think I saw you. You recently went on a vacation of some sort.
Yes.
I saw you out and about.
Oh yeah.
I saw you in front of a painting, and you said it made you cry.
Yes, that's one of my favorite paintings, man.
So what was that trip? Where'd you go for this trip?
So I started in London. I did a couple of days in London, and then I went to Paris for like 5 days. And while I was in Paris, I took 2 weeks off, like maybe 14, 15 days off. And like I didn't book the second part of my vacation. So I was supposed to meet Gabriel Massi, who's my co-podcaster. I have a podcast with him. It was a bonne nuit. Check it out.
Check it out.
UkrainianDJ.com. All the links. And so I met them there. We recorded an episode. It was nice. We drank wine. Then I didn't know where I wanted to go. And I was looking like, should I go to Berlin? Should I go to Portugal? Should I go to Greece? Should I go to Italy? And I'm like, I've been in Europe for like a week now. I'm tired of Europe. So I was looking like, should I go see the pyramids? Because I went to Egypt before, but I didn't get to see the pyramids. That's a different story. But I'm like, should I go to Egypt? Where should I go? So I was looking at just ticket prices, and I saw Israel was like 300 euros. I'm like, should I go to Israel? Because I thought about it when I was young with my Jewish friend to go to Israel, but it was war back then. It was hard. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I won't go. I'm like, should I go to Israel? And I'm like, let's go speak with the consul. So I went to the embassy, went to the Israeli embassy, and they're like, it should be okay, but at the airport they might put a finger up your ass or whatever. Very funny. But I'm like, I have to go. So yeah, I ended up going to Israel. On my passport it says Beirut, Lebanon. So
Any issues when you got there?
Yeah, the airport was a bit tough. They got a lot of questioning, but I told them I'm an ambassador of peace. I'm not here to.
And how was the Holy Land though? How was that experience of being
amazing? That was honestly, it felt like a psychedelic trip, dude. The whole thing, Jerusalem, like the holiest city in the world. It's crazy. You get there, and then you have the Western Wall for the Jews, and then you have the Dome of the Rock for the Muslims, and then you have the Church of Sepulture, which is like the holiest place, the holiest church in Christianity, and they're all within like 10 minutes from a Starbucks. It's crazy to see that. It's a joke. It's a Zara. It's not a Starbucks, but it's funnier to say. It's to say Starbucks, yeah.
Did you smell any tension in the air when you got there? Did you see anything in the streets that you're like, that's what, because look, me, I want to go to Israel too.
Yeah,
But everything that
100%.
I see, I have Palestinian friends, and everything that I see that goes on over there, I'm like, do I want to go there and witness this on my so-called vacation? Let's say I go there and I witness this atrocity of a kid getting a...
You won't see that in Israel. You won't see that in Israel because, well, unless you go to Gaza and then you stand with the Palestinians, it's safe, especially because you're not an Arab. Nothing about you says Arab. You should be fine. There's tourism in Israel. There's a beach, and as I said, if you like history, this whole region is packed with history, and I love history. I like. If I was an engineer, I would be an archaeologist. I always loved Indiana Jones, so I would wake up and every morning, da 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 da. Let's go to this 2,000-year-old castle that was built by King Heron, and then just look at rocks. I love this, So it won't be scary. Maybe there'll be an explosion in Tel Aviv it's okay. I can live a little, bro. What is this? Come on. If you want to go, go. I always say, like, what are you scared? Just go. Just don't go with like your children or your girlfriend or whatever. Go alone. So if you die, you don't. Only your mom is gonna cry for you. That's it. Yeah. But definitely go. Oh yeah. It will change your world. Have you ever been to a country where you don't understand the language?
Yes.
Okay, isn't that the best? You're like, where am I?
No, look, because right now I think the next place, like, I go a lot the Caribbean, South America, but I want to go to Asia.
Ooh.
So I want to do Thailand in November.
Nice.
And I go, and somebody's like,
Lady boys,
the main reason?
I hear you, Steve.
What's the main reason you want to go to Thailand? I go, you know what I really want?
Girlswithpenises.com/Steve. Use promo code The Hustle Podcast for all your Gmail porn needs.
That's what the fuck was I gonna say? I want to witness the culture shock.
Yeah.
When you get off the plane and you just hear all this madness going on, and you see all these letters that you don't know what fuck they're telling you.
I love it.
And it's like super safe down there. So
is it? I don't know. My friend told me I should.
Besides
go
the lady boys that might.
Discount code Hustle Podcast for Gmail needs. But 100%, dude, you should go. If this is where you want to go, then yeah, go. Fuck Israel. You'll go to Israel another day. Go, if this is your calling, then just follow.
I think everything is on the list.
Yeah.
I'll leave Israel for last because there's this. They say that once you get Israel on your passport, the stamp.
Yeah.
And you try to visit Arab countries, then you're gonna be.
I've heard this, but like they didn't stamp my passport, and then I'm like, who's stamping passport? What is this? 1945? Nobody stamps passports anymore. Like, when is the last time your passport got stamped?
In Cuba. But Cuba,
well, yeah, Cuba. They're still in 1945.
Yeah, they're communists. So.
Yeah, they didn't stamp it. They're lucky, but it's true. But they don't stamp, and they know. You're like, all right, this kid, maybe he'll go to, like, they don't. You can ask them not to stamp if you go to Israel. But it's nice, man. Honestly, like, it's so nice. I get why the Arabs want to take it. Like, I get it. It's nice. It's clean. Women are hot. The women are most beautiful women I've seen in the world are Israeli women. Dude, they're all in shape.
Have you been to Colombia?
No, I have not. But I'm telling you, dude, Israeli women. Listen, I'm not an ass man. I'm a breast man. And everyone has huge tits. There's like the big cup is for children. Like, that doesn't exist. Everyone is in shape. They're all trained to kill you, So you have like, well, not me, but like Arabs in general, because they all do military service, So you have all these conflicting boners, You're like, don't kill me, but suffocate me with your thighs. Just sit on my face.
Krav Maga you.
Yeah, waterboard me with your pussy. Just, yes. They're gorgeous, dude. Hot.
Being a comedian.
Yeah.
There's always when, let's say you post something online or you tell somebody something serious. Do you find that people don't take you seriously and they think that you're joking?
Yeah, sometimes. Like, is it a bit? Are you joking?
Look, you posted something, I think it was like a month ago, about hair. I don't know if it's
about what?
About your hair loss.
Yeah.
I still don't know if it's a bit or not. And you're talking about you're going to Turkey. Was that a bit? Yeah. You fucking son of a bitch, bro.
Dude, I've gotten... Okay, so for people who don't know, I posted a picture of me when I was like 22. That was me, by the way. When 22, I had long, beautiful...
You look like Hercules.
I look like a fucking Greek god. It was... I was gorgeous. Long hair. And I said, like, I'm tired of people judging me because of my hair loss. I'm going to Turkey. And if you don't support me, blah, blah, blah. And it was like a whole heartfelt, fake, sincere, long thing. Dude, I've gotten maybe 30, 40 messages. Either people telling me like, Amer, we support you. It's go for it. Or like, bro, you don't need it. You look hot. Like but everyone was like, yes, do it. Gender affirming surgery. Go get that hairline. I'm like, oh my God, this has gotten out of control. People were messaging me.
Dude, when I saw it, it was like, I forgot what time it was. Late at night, I saw it. I read halfway through. I'm like, okay, it's a bit. He's joking. But then after that, I'm like, no, this sounds serious. And then I'm reading the comments and people are like, congratulations, Amer. So I'm like, at this point, I'm seeing like 100 likes on it. I'm seeing like all these reaffirming comments. I'm like, okay, it's for real. And then when I saw you on your trip, I'm like, oh, he's going to get the hair.
I thought about playing that, like, oh, guys, finally going to Turkey. Like, put a wig over my head, come back with long, like it's automatic. You just get long, luscious hair. Dude, Saturday, there's a comic I haven't seen in like 3 months. She's like, oh, I thought you were going to Turkey. I'm like, no, it was an April Fool's joke. She's like, motherfucker. And she just tapped me on my head.
No, that was hilarious.
That's all. Isn't it fun? You get to be an ass like this. It's cute.
I think you should have definitely rode the joke, went on the vacation, put some bandages around your head, and then after when you came back, show up for your first event with this outrageous wig.
Just a punk rock 80s long hair band. Like, what's up, everybody?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a crazy time period in your career.
Yeah, I like doing crazy shit like this. Like I remember, again, around April, Sid. You know Sid, right? So I wrote down that Sid was doing a set, and then his brother messaged him, and I was like, are you doing comedy? He's like, no, it's a joke. Like, gotcha. I like that. It's fun. It's fun to be somewhat of an asshole.
Keep the people on their toes, man. You never know.
It's funny. It's nice.
Exactly.
It's great.
What's next? And like, what do you see coming from this comedy career? Like, I see you're on the circuit every day. Like, you're performing almost every day.
Life is good. Honestly, I mean, I make jokes about being broke, but doing so many shows. I have fans. My podcast is growing. I'm up to like 3,500 subscribers on YouTube, which is nothing. You know, it's pretty good.
Once you get 1,000, you can start getting paid.
Yes, it's good. It's well. We got a strike because I made a joke about Hitler. So other than that, it's great. So yeah, the censorship online. I have to be more careful about that. I think the next thing I want to start releasing my stuff more. So you know, I bought the microphone. I bought I want to record my stuff and release it online. I find that I don't release my stuff online as much as I should. So yeah, start building the fan base. Start go on tour more. I enjoy. I performed in Paris. When I was in Paris, it was great. It was these French people. They love me. I'm like, oh, that's a good. I was performing in English in front of an English speaking crowd, so that was nice. I like to perform more. Maybe do Western Canada a bit. Try to do Edinburgh Festival next year, which is like a festival in Scotland for 1 month, and you perform every day. So it's like Just for Laughs, but way bigger and way more independent. So you just bring your show. They give you a bar. Like go ahead. Sell your tickets. So interesting learning the whole promoting side of business that I'm still new to. As I said, I've been focusing so much on like jokes and writing that I forgot the business side of show business. So I'm like, okay, unless there's a Jew that wants to be my manager, please message me, Jews, if you're listening. I love you.
You mentioned you're like at 45, you have a 45 solid minutes of a set.
Yeah.
Like when you compile that much material, I think when you're at that much material, you got to start focusing on the business aspect and make money off the jokes. Have you considered filming it, doing a special?
I thought about filming it, but as of now, the way people can. When is the last time you listened to an album? I'll ask you this. You're a human being who enjoys comedy. Like
when it comes to a stand-up show, I think the last one I saw was probably Joey Coco Diaz when he had that they have like a comedian that there's a show. There's a comedian that comes, does an hour
Yeah.
at the.
Where was it? Was it
It was in,
live?
it's in Vegas. It was
Okay,
in
you went
Vegas.
live?
No, it wasn't
Oh.
live. It was on Netflix.
Okay. So it was on Netflix. So
Yes.
until I reach Netflix, I think it's better to just release them in short bits. Like, here's a bit that I wrote, I performed, the crowd was good, edit it, put it on Instagram, and now that bit is there. So instead of releasing an album, I think it would be wiser to just release, like, here's a bit, here's a bit, here's a bit, here's a bit, here's some crowd work, here's a bit. And then people would just watch that bit instead of watching a whole album.
Do you think maybe it's because you don't want to give it all away right away?
No,
45
I don't.
minutes.
I don't think that way. No, it's just that I think that the way that art form is consumed now, unless you're famous, it's consumed by bits. You go on Instagram, everyone's posting clips. That's like the modern thing. So, I think I'm original. I think I have original ideas. So I think it would be like, okay, here's my original idea. So the whole idea of releasing an album or anything is to get the people to know you, right? To know your brain, to know what you create. So instead of releasing an album, I think just releasing clips, like 2-minute clips or
There's a
1-minute
few
clip.
comedians that I've discovered recently.
Yeah.
From short clips
Here
on
we go.
YouTube. Short clips, but I would say that, like, from watching their short clips, I went and I checked for that person. I want to see who he is,
Yeah.
how much material he has, and I've come across a few specials.
Okay. Oh,
I'm pretty sure there's like this one pretty boy that he has all these
Matt
jokes.
Rife.
Yeah, Matt Rife, hilarious. He just did a special.
Yeah.
I saw the whole special. It was good.
He's mesmerizing.
Yeah.
He's so hot.
So I think, like, when you see, like, it's
How hard
bubbling.
were you, out of curiosity? Like, did you come twice, 3 times?
Three times.
Damn.
So I think, like,
You're
when
still
you
young, buddy.
when
That's
you
good.
see the
I capped at 1. It's just,
when you see the people bubbling and you see, like, the wave is going, maybe that's the right time, and you, like, drop the bomb on them, give them a whole special.
Yeah.
So you
Once
judge
in a
it.
while,
You
yeah.
judge it.
I mean, I'm always writing. I'm always building new. Like, sometimes I'll just release an idea. It's not even completed, and I continue working on it. So if, let's say, people see it on my Instagram or whatever, if you see it live, you'll probably see, like, a longer version of it, maybe a tighter version of it. But it's just, I'm like, let's start just releasing interesting, funny thoughts that people who think like me will follow me. And that's the way I see it. Yeah.
It's a good way to see it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. This is the goal for this year. I perform so much. It would be nice to get a better return on investment. Like now, if let's say I perform once, I go on stage, I get paid, and that's it, right? But let's say I perform and I record it, and I test out a couple of new jokes, and I'm like, okay, so then maybe I can take that recording, edit it, release it. So now with one performance, I can get like 3-4 things instead of just getting one performance in my pocket and some money and maybe to set a couple of jokes. And I have like 3-4 shorts. Maybe I spoke with the crowd. Maybe somebody interrupted me. Bam, bam, get that. So I'm trying to think like a businessman. This is new to me. So I'm like, okay, how can I like squeeze all the juice out of this lemon?
Very smart way of thinking.
Thank you.
I'm assuming right now we have a bunch of people that have never heard your comedy before, never heard of Amer Rez. You got to leave them with the ultimate joke. Leave them with your favorite joke. What's your favorite joke? It doesn't have to be the most offensive one. It's just the one that you think is your favorite joke.
I will not be telling a joke. I hope I made them laugh by listening. Comedy, I need a crowd. There's no crowd. Your friend's sitting all the way over there on his phone, and you smiled, but no. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to hear stand-up comedy, come see me live. Come to Melrose every Wednesday, or I perform all the time. I'm always performing. UkrainianDJ.com or AmerRez.com. And come see me live. Tell me you heard me on the Hustle podcast. And
If you tell him that you heard him on the Hustle podcast, he will give you a free blowjob.
I mean, the blowjob's always free. That's false marketing. I will.
Right before we wrap up the episode, there's this thing that we do. You got to pick up that diamond over there, that gem, and you got to drop a gem on the people.
Got a gem on the people?
Drop a gem. It could be something about comedy. It could be something about the engineer life. It could be something about following your dreams. Give us something good that we can clip and turn into a short and make some money off.
Here's probably the best advice, the best investment you'll ever do in your life. It will make your life better. It will make every morning when you wake up, it will make it more fun, more pleasant. You'll feel more refreshed. Buy a bidet. Buy a bidet and wash your ass, you filthy pigs. I love you.
Oh, that was amazing. And I was waiting for it. I'm like, this guy, I know he's going to do something. Well, thank you for that one.
Thank you so much.
That's a gem that people can take with them for the rest of their lives. Thank you very much. Everybody, tune in to this episode of the Hustle Podcast with Amer Rez.
UkrainianDJ.com.
UkrainianDJ.com. Thank you very much for watching another episode of the Hustle Podcast. We out.
Welcome everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Aramopoulos.